Hi, my name is Manuela, and I chose to do the presentation about the excess accumulation of waste since I feel in design as a career. We use a lot of paper, plastic, and other elements that many times after we use these components, they are not properly treated and become just waste. One of the problems that has affected the most the environment and the world has been the excess accumulation of waste. The amount of garbage we produce each year and every day, and the way we execute it afterwards, creates a cycle that doesn't end and affects not only our planet but also our life. In Colombia, about 12 million tons of garbage are generated per year, of which an average of 17% is recycled. Only in Bogota, 6,300 tons of garbage are produced per day, and only between 14 and 15% are reused. The rest becomes just garbage. More than 2.1 billion tons of waste are produced in the world each year, enough to fill 822,000 Olympic swimming pools. However, only 16%, which means 323 million tons of that, is recycled each year, while 46%, which means 950 million tons, is disposed in an unsustainable way. The country that produces most waste in the world is the United States. This country produces 3 times the world average of waste, with 773 kilograms per person. They are followed by New Zealand, Ireland, Norway, and Switzerland. A problem that adds up to excessive waste is the garbage collection systems. In cities and towns where there is no good garbage collection system, pollution becomes a big deal. Families have no choice but to collect all the garbage from their homes and place it outside in a bin or a bag. If there is no efficient collection system, garbage begins to accumulate and creates a source of environmental pollution. I also want to talk about non-recyclable products. We live in a world where even though many corporations have started to take notice on the amount of waste produced and have started to use recycled materials, there are other companies that sell products that are impossible to recycle due to the mix of plastic with metals, glues, or colorants, for example, toothpaste or lighters. The big problem here is that these are products we do need, so it becomes an unstoppable issue. There are also cases of improper disposal. When the garbage collection system does collect waste but does not lead it to a proper landfill, we are in the presence of the same problem. What has been done is simply moved the garbage from one place to another. Therefore, it has not been given a correct disposal or contamination has not been avoided in these new areas. Air pollution is also a problem linked to the excess of garbage around the world. We got used to remove waste by burning tons of this in fields. We thought that was the way to finish it, but the World Health Organization says that this method produces a lot of toxic gases contaminating the atmosphere, creating more pollution and even affecting civilizations that live near it. Due to the bad use of waste worldwide that I've been talking about, we have not only affected our lives, but we have also affected the cycle of animal life, fauna and flora. Both terrestrial and aquatic animals have started to feed on garbage. They also get trapped in it. We have seen how whales die from eating excess of trash, sharks in shores stuck to ropes, and turtles getting their shells shrunk. As mentioned before, the flora has been affected. A great example are the mangroves. They have begun to fill with garbage, affecting the marine life that lives below them. Trees in the marine life are not the only ones that are getting harmed. Trees near contaminated areas get sick and stop working correctly. They even lose animals that use them as their homes or a source of food. An example of what excess of waste does is the garbage island that is located in the Pacific Ocean. It's 3 times the size of France. It's about 1.8 trillion pieces of floating plastic that kills thousands of marine animals between California and Hawaii. Charles Moore was the first to notice it as he collided with it on his boat in 1997. It took him 7 days to get it through. Another example is the City of Trash. It's a neighborhood in El Cairo, Egypt called Manshar Nasser. It's named the City of Trash since it's where most, if not all, of the waste of El Cairo ends up. People who live there are called Sambalen, which means garbage men. This city is full of bags and trash. Even though they recycle it daily, every morning the streets get full of new waste. People have found ways to cope with this situation like Techo para mi país, which is an organization which builds homes for people in need with recyclable materials. They recycle waste, and after a process to make it compact, they create artifacts that work to build homes. They look for volunteers, and with help of experts, they go to poor neighborhoods to build homes. Another example are the recyclers in Colombia. They have also invented the way to use the waste of plastic in a good way. After a short process, they make recycled plastic become a compact surface that ends up being a material kind of like wood. This element becomes very practical. It's used in the construction and industrial sector. Other examples are these straws of metal. It's an invention that has helped to reduce waste. These straws don't rot or damage. They come with a brush to wash it afterwards if needed. It also comes with a case to keep it in your purse or backpack so that you can take it easier. The main purpose is it to be handy, so that instead of using plastic straws at restaurants, you use your own personal straw and avoid a bit of waste. There is another invention that has become very popular, that is selling water in a cardboard container instead of coming in plastic or glass. It is more practical than glass since it doesn't break. This cardboard box company makes their containers from recyclable and more sustainable material. Also, 10% of the money they get is used for planting trees. The examples mentioned above were some examples of projects that have been created to help. But at home, we can also help by recycling correctly. At home, there is not enough space for all the different trash bins that exist, but by having two, it's good. In one, dispose organic products, and in the other one, inorganic products. And lastly, other way to help with this problem back home is by reusing elements which main purpose finishes. The idea of this is to find these elements other use. Just as in the picture, the soap container finishes, but it can work for something else at home. After the base is cut off, it can be used for storage for small elements such as markers or pens. These ideas might sound basic, but it's a good start. It's proof that it helps with the process of waste.